Hi everyone, I am Faye the Oracle coming to you again with another reading. This one is a general reading for all of our air signs: Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Basically, what we're going to be discussing at this time is how to feel more glamorous and excited to be you. So I hope this reading finds you well, and we're going to jump right in. So calling on the spirit guides, ancestors of my air folk, how can they feel more glamorous? So, and now this is a message that's coming from the universe. First of all, you're all beautiful. You're so unique. You're so wonderful. You make good plans. You get good advice. You're always willing to help out a friend. You have to recognize that beauty is more than just skin deep. It is how you make people feel that makes you memorable. And sometimes you do so much good for people that they might as well think that you're God in disguise, which I think is very, very cute. Okay, so first card we got out is what is the inciting incident in this situation. So this is advice on how to find the beauty within. We have the fish, which talks about resources, small success, could be money, could be business, could be a positive market change. If you guys are so cerebral and mercurial that you're involved with business. This is also associated with the King of Diamonds, who I recognize as the King of Wands. And he is someone who is a real life boss. He doesn't just talk the talk, he also walks the walk. He has ideas, he has charisma, he's incredibly social. He takes painstaking action to have everything he wants come to fruition. And this is how we begin, with recognizing that we are all here with a very special spiritual mission. All of us have something to accomplish. Some people think that it's as lofty as finding an end to cancer, or saving the homeless and giving people access to, and advocating for people to have access to affordable housing. And then there are some people who they just have so much love to give that maybe they dedicate themselves to taking care of animals. The idea is that there's something here that you provide, some resource, some service, some kind of positive contribution that makes you beautiful. You come from source. You're here to be recognized and to recognize others and to recognize your worth through providing a great example and being of service to others. Then we have the rings, which talks about bonds, relationships, deep connections. Marriage is also associated with the Ace of Clubs, which is also what I associate with the Ace of Coins, which talks about prosperity, abundance, positive new beginnings in terms of something that you attribute great value to, like opportunities, people that have value to you, beliefs, a sense of integrity, of trustworthiness. Also talks about you recognizing that you are a positive influence on the people around you. They look to you for guidance in difficult times. They find themselves attached to you in a way that where they feel like you're a very good, reliable source of information, that you're always good for a giggle, a laugh, and that this is specifically something that adds additional worth to the relationship. You also work very hard and you're very patient. And then we have the ship, which talks about travel, transition, adventure, going off to new lands. So this is really talking about, especially with the 4, 8, 9, 10 of spades here, we have, which also talks about your ability to find the silver lining in any situation. As the 10 of spades is what I associate with the 10 of swords, which talks about loss, betrayal, just basically a lot of mental anguish, calamity. And this talks about how you're able to navigate very difficult, very complex situations just by being able to recognize that when you're feeling restricted in what you want to do, you decide to just get up and go. Your freedom is very important to you, and you're not the kind of person to take things slow, or maybe there's an issue with patience coming to you readily, but you are someone who recognizes that if there's trouble afoot, if things have been heading downward for a while now, you will hop the next thing right out of town. You don't have any reason to stay around any longer, and you make this decision and you recognize that it's something that will make you stronger. So let's see what else is going to come through. All right, we have the Tower. And the Tower is associated with the Six of Swords, which talks about transitioning, especially from troubled times to calmer waters, so to speak. So people see you as a safe harbor when they're experiencing a lot of difficulty. You offer a great level of security with a lot of people, a lot of organization, a lot of structure. They feel that you communicate very clearly. They like that you are a driven individual and that you have something that you feel like you want to contribute your thoughts or opinions to. You will, and you give a good visual when you explain and talk about things. And it says that you can be dominating about things in certain ways, but that it's not something that doesn't usually have a benefit in a lot of different ways. Like, you're not that way just to be mean, for example. Although sometimes you can't be mean. So we have next, which is, actually, what is this? Oh, it's the Sun. It's the Sun. And this is with the Ace of Diamonds, which is the Ace of Wands. So you're a very passionate, driven individual, but you're also very exciting and a lot of fun. People like being around you. They like that you're optimistic and always trying to have a good time. That you also are, I feel like you are very fluid about how far you're willing to go, like, to have a good time. Like, you're very much down to make sudden and impulsive travel plans. Like, when it comes to you having the chance to get out of town for a little while, you're on it. You're down to do it. You have your soul has a calling. You're down to follow it. You go with the flow. You're really very much invested in seeing where things will go, just for the experience. And then we have the Letter, and the Letter is associated with the Seven of Spades, which usually talks about deceit, hidden messages, a lot of mental chatter, doubts, those kinds of things. But I feel like with the Letter here, it talks about your commitment. Your commitment to figuring things out. Like, if there's something that you feel somebody's been deceitful about, you will get to the bottom of anything. With this Letter, I feel like sometimes you get people who call a lot and they're like, basically just shooting the shit with you. And they start telling you all these things that they do. And you're just like, I highly doubt that. But all right, Nobody's just going to just slip something by you and not have you notice. And you're not going to take part in any situation that isn't going to have an immediate benefit to you. You're not the kind of person who is afraid to call things or, to end or to call a spade. And you really aren't overly committed to needing closure even. It's enough just to have found somebody obnoxious and then you're just like, I'm leaving. And then we have the Bear, and the Bear talks about great strength, But it also feels like one of those things where I feel like there's an energy of a player I'm getting here. Like maybe some of you are an actual bear. You're some big, thick, luscious, hairy people. And I feel like you're always thinking about how you could marry people. And then you're just like, but then I have to marry people. So I guess that kind of makes you a player, so to speak, because you're not someone who takes commitment lightly, because you really, really prioritize your freedom. And sometimes I feel like there are situations that you feel like are going to cut down or put ties on you and cut back on your freedom, but sometimes those situations genuinely are there to benefit you for the better. And I think that is good for you to trust in the bear of the situation, because one thing I can say, when you're like, there's no reason to be concerned about somebody trying to cut back on your freedoms, because you can't actually get involved in a situation like that without consenting to it from the beginning. I mean, if you give somebody a chance and they seem like they're not trying to respect your boundaries, then you have to realize that your freedom is something that you give by choosing to be dedicated to a situation. So you're already able to access this thing about receiving the information you need with the letter, and then using it to make a choice quickly. So just recognize that you have the strength to always make the best choice available for you, but not to discount situations just because you feel like there's some worry you have there about what they'll expect out of you or force you to go along with. Also, I feel like there's something about you needing to give into a chase, so to speak. Like, because this is the 9 of Cups. It's like if you really want to be in a relationship, or you want to be happy with somebody, you are going to have to like actually let them speak to you about things, like you're going to have to show accountability. There's going to need to be some grounding here so that you can show up for this person reliably, because the strength is the bear is all about strength, and then this card with the deer is all about messages. So they're trying to get you to recognize that there are strengths that you can find by having a positive outcome about this situation. So let me get out this next card and we'll go over the full message here, because it's quite a situation. Okay, and then we have, what is this? This is the park? Where's my booklet? This is the clouds, right. Okay, this is the clouds. The clouds talks about confusion, diversions. Let's see. Confusion, uncertainty, change, loss of direction. Okay, so now the picture is becoming a little clearer for me. So say that you, with this message here, right, with the fish, the rings, and the ship. Say you specifically got into a relationship and you are willing to travel for it, or you are hoping to have a serious relationship move forward, and so you were willing to travel for it. And so that was you had a bonus, like you got your little money together, you got a little chunk of money, and you decided that it's time for you to make a move on this situation for this señorita or senor or senora even. And you decided oh, well, let's go on vacation, or if they're at distance from you, you decided to take a trip to see them. And at first, I feel like you were feeling like maybe some level of security that evolved from this fish situation, this bonus, this money, this sudden let's say growth, or addition to your overall sense of stability as associated with the Tower. So there's something here that required you to have a positive mindset or to feel optimistically, and then you received this communication. So these things all together, this letter, this optimistic sun view, this hopeful feeling of security, there's some kind of something that you received, I want to say maybe in the mail, if not like literally by postage, then it could be an email or some kind of written correspondence, be it electronic or otherwise. And then this led specifically to a lot of different things for you. The security that you were wanting is directly related to the Bear card, which talks about strength, bravery. I'm assuming things like courage as well. So, authority, mother, headstrong, power. Okay, all right, so that's coming through for me a little bit more because the Tower talks about bureaucracy, institutions, government, authority, border separation. So, this is specifically some kind of an additional authority. So, maybe what's happened is that you came into some kind of financial security as a result of a familial relationship. And this puts you in a very powerful and positive mindset about this situation that led to you wanting to either travel to or send some kind of message to someone about. And so this was something of maybe an act of proposal, because the bonds talk very much about union and relationships. And the Sun card, I feel like, is associated with some kind of miracle. And now, with the Rider, it specifically talks about the Rider being associated with new information, news, innovation, and surprise. So there was some kind of surprise clarity that came out of this situation. But whatever it was, it incited some need for a new change, new direction, some kind of travel, specifically associated with a message that you received, which next to this Sun card, and they made the association just now with miracle. There was some kind of message, I feel like, that really let you think that things were going to get better for you with the Strength card, but it may also have been a message related to some kind of authority figure, maybe specifically tied to the government, because we have the Bear and the Tower. So let's say it was like, a stimulus check or what have you. Then maybe now you felt like it put the fire in your belly for you to make some choices, some decisions. Because I mean, like, everybody who got a stimulus check doesn't specifically have, like, dependents or family, or maybe they do. Either way, this message that you received, or this news, the surprise news, kind of got in the way of something for you, because it clouded your vision, your point of view. It made it difficult for you to come to some kind of a decision with this new information that you have. Or maybe it is that you're trying to figure out how to use the information that you've received. So I'm going to go to my tarot cards and see what other information that we can get, because the key to this whole situation is the Sun card. And the Sun card is number 31. And it talks about a lot of luck, development, growth, success. So maybe this is some kind of job that you traveled for. Because the reins can talk about a union, so it could be some kind of business union. The Fish card talks about resource, which is business, and you have two cards that are associated with authority and organization. So it could be that now you have had this sudden surprise bonus that led to you being able to make this union, this marriage, this business proposal. You traveled for it. You met the organization. The outcome had you feeling very hopeful. You received a letter, a message of some sort. It had maybe some kind of stamp of seal of approval from the authority, because there's two message cards. So I feel like one of them was something you were expecting to receive, and the other thing led to certain information or insight. So now that you have this, you're trying to figure out how to use this information to make yourself successful. So let's see. And all of this is in response to a unique message for someone who is trying to figure out their next best move. You've had this request, this unexpected request, and you're not sure if you want to make a move on it. So we will continue then to let that digest for you guys. So the first thing I would associate it with the fish is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is someone who is working on finding something that brings emotional fulfillment. They're out here acting on the potential of their emotional expression, and this is something that's associated with things that comes with expressing things or helping people acknowledge things associated with feelings. So it could be that the resources, the money that you receive, could be intuition, because the Page of Cups is somebody who's related to as being a young person. So it could be now that you have this tuition, or say the supplemental income, you're finally able to take action on some things that you've been dreaming about, been wanting to have some kind of commitment to. Maybe it's a contract specifically for you, because we have a lot of things about messages and written word. But whatever it is the part of your destiny with the Wheel of Fortune. Destiny is probably a strong word, I suppose I should say, but the idea is that the outcome that is going on currently is going to move things in your favor, but it is going to come up to you to make a choice about specifically whether or not I think that you want to do the emotional labor. Because the cups are associated with feelings, and the Seven of Cups talks about having illusions, fantasies, or basically something that needs to be clear so that you can make the choice you need to make and interpret it correctly. So let's see. Next, we have the Five of Coins. So it seems like the specific association with this organization is about some kind of lack or loss of income with the Five of Coins. Could be in response specifically that with the Authority card, this money that you received is going to be needed to be reported, maybe on your taxes, for example, in order for you to navigate whatever this is safely. It could also be that now that you have this money, you're finally able to get engaged, and you haven't been able to make a move on that because you haven't had the finances or the financial security. We have the Chariot card, which is coming in over the Sun. So definitely talks about you maybe wanting to go all in with someone, because the Chariot is about you finding the focus and drive you need to achieve your goals. So if your goal is financial stability, then the Chariot card tells you that you are really on the roll to getting exactly what you want. You just have to be a little disciplined. The Chariot card is all about discipline, as well as with the Strength card for me. Could also be a Cancer if you're involved with or thinking about an involvement with a Cancer. Then we have the Moon card. So the Moon card talks about subconscious feelings, hidden emotions, confusion, and then also at the same time illusions and fantasy. Having some kind of conflict between what your fears or projections are and what the world actually is in reality. Can talk about having some inner vision that needs to be spoken on with the written word. Because that's what the letter is, some kind of letter that is going to address or focus on, a lot of feelings that you've had. The Chariot could also be a vehicle. So maybe now that you have this sudden income, you can finally get to work on your plans to get a car. We have the Bear then, highlighted by the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is a card that's associated with competition, competing with others, also basically taking on all challengers. It talks about you really needing to put your back into it, basically, I think, and regard whoever it is that you feel like you're coming up against and viewing as an obstacle, to basically bring it on, because you got this shit. You got everything you need right now to handle it, to finish it, and work through this particular challenge, which is associated with the 5. And then let's see, what's this message hitting on? Okay, they got 2 cards for me that came out. So this message is hitting on Temperance, which talks about patience, moderation, peace, healing, finding compromise. Also, I've had associations with this being about truth. So it's going to be a message, a surprise or unexpected message that's going to be bringing you a lot of peace, healing. Could also be associated with divine intervention, as the cards of Temperance talk about angels. Let's see. And then we have the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups talks about a authentic, emotional beginning and a mutually beneficial situation between yourself and another person. But it can come up with cards associated with authority. So it could be a business agreement or a business union. But it seems to me for this particular circumstance that it is related to a relationship. Something that you may have been in and out of for a time, and you're finally moving into the energy of wanting to bring this into true union and collaboration soon. And maybe that's what this Five of Wands is about. You're worried about competition on that, and you need to be brave and act regardless of your fear of competition. And then over the clouds, we have the King of Wands, which talks about you having confidence in your ability to conquer the situation and to manifest the ending that you want. But it also talks about, I feel like with the Six of Cups, you needing to be patient, to act with maturity, and to look back to maybe past situations to give you inner clarity, because the Moon card is right here as well. This King of Wands could also be a masculine person, somebody very sexy, handsome, and charismatic, someone that you would definitely want to fawn all over or get all under or get all on. Let's see. So now it seems that we've made a few different discoveries. One, some of you are having a sudden insight into a situation that is going to lead to a lot of clarity and hopefully a lot of additional compromise and emotional expression and communication with you and another individual who might be this handsome King of Wands. And that could be anybody of any gender. It could just be a masked person, could be a man, could even just be a feminine person with a lot of BDE, you know what I mean? Whatever it was, it seems that you have some kind of past history with this person with the Six of Cups. It could also talk about this being a family situation. Maybe somebody is coming in to give you some insight and clarity on what this Clouds card was about. This could also be a situation where you were basically carrying on a lot of things for clout with the Page of Cups being here, because there's someone that has a lot of emotional feelings, a lot of emotional things they want to express, but they don't have a lot of maturity over their feelings, so they can get swept up in their own emotions very easily. But there is a period of time now where whatever emotions they are expressing, are for the good or benefit of the situation with the Wheel of Fortune upright, and that this will lead to you being able to make a clear-headed decision in spite of the difficulty you have with the clarity associated with the Cloud card, the Moon card, and the Seven of Cups. Definitely talks about you needing clarity. And with the Ship card, maybe that some kind of time or chance or expansion, or maybe some kind of spiritual quest or you need to go on, will bring you some insight into how to resolve this maybe debt or some kind of lack associated with the authority and organization that we talk about with the Tower card. Whatever the situation, you're trying to maintain positivity about it with the Sun, and this is giving you a lot of motivated energy to get lots of things done. That's going to help you in driving away the maybe doubt or self-conscious fears you have about your vision, and recognizing that as you move forward, your vision becomes clearer. There's going to be a lot of competition, but with the Bear card, you're going to be able to handle the situation with strength, poise, and authority. And then, if not, the conflict of this situation will eventually lead to an unexpected message, surprise outcome that will provide you with much needed healing, peace, and then also some kind of mutually beneficial situation, especially in the place of emotion. And that could be with this King of Wands person providing you their level of devotion that they were suddenly going to bring some kind of clarity on based off of your past history with them. And then we have the Knight of Cups on the back. So definitely talks about a lot of emotion, a lot of feelings, and I'm getting a lot of relationship energy. But let's see what other clarity we can get. So knowing what we do about this situation, if this is about a relationship, how would this person know if this is the right fit? And I'm just going to take 3 cards because I want to ask them more questions. All right, so we got 3 cards. So this is how you will know. So the Destiny card here, which is an equivalent to the Wheel of Fortune, which brings a message double now. So this is something that is coming out to your best benefit. There will be maybe some kind of fallout in the background, but it won't affect you, not one bit. And then we have mental clarity, which does talk about you being confused and unsure of the quality of the choices you're being called to make, but that your resolution of this situation is going to be trusting in your intuition, and then also using your strong inner vision to manifest a change in this situation. So you can manifest things with the energy of affirmations, of journaling, of doing a vision board, anything that supports clarity and understanding that you can put out an expectation to the universe and receive. So it could be you reading about the law of attraction and taking into certain practices in order to create the cause and effect that you're looking for. Now, what about this other story that's going on about there being some kind of information that would be needed to bring about clarity for some specific decision? Because it was something about money. Okay, they gave me a lot of cards, but I'll just focus on the ones with the faces. So we have rest and rejuvenate. So there's going to be some kind of pause for a moment. The swords are associated with wind, communication. So there could be some time before you receive the communication you need that's going to resolve this financial situation. We have movements, decisions, and choices. So this specifically talks about you recognizing that there's a lot of things that are being balanced at this time. And once you do have the information you need, you will be able to come to a decision in order to make the best of the outcome possible. And then we have emotional withdrawal. And emotional withdrawal talks about us keeping everything bottled up. Assuming that the success for this situation is completely reliant on ourselves, but the outcome is also in the hands of spirit as well. And by trusting in your spirit guides and ancestors to assist you, you provide yourself with the sense of security that you need, that you can't provide yourself because you don't have all the control that you would need. And that is a lesson here as well, to acknowledge that you're not going to always be able to be in control, but you can take certain actions to ease your feelings around that and invite the best possible outcome in the situation through manifestation. And this is something specifically they threw in as a bonus message involving your third eye chakra. Apparently, you are a person who is very clairvoyant. You have a lot of insight in terms of the form of visions, symbols, angel numbers, or something else that I think comes up. But basically, also trusting your inner vision to see something into fruition, some outcome that you want, some wish being granted. That your biggest strength when it comes to manifestation is visualization. But all right, that's all I have for you today, air folk. I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon and evening or morning. And I do ask that you consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And if you want to, in some point in time, if at some point in time you want to purchase a personal reading, you can do so through the links below. But thank you. Bye-bye.